All right, y'all. So this is from the Rubber Duck on X. It says either this is proof that they found the missing children from Camp Mystic, or those missing children all have twins, or they're all actors, and we are watching a movie. I said that Camp Mystic thing sounds kind of hokey. And when I briefly covered this flooding over there in Texas, at Camp Mystic, there's got to be something to that. That sounds kind of something's up with that, right? Well, take a look at this. Roll that beautiful bean footage. We're gonna take a look at this real quick.
Hey, look, check this out. You know the girls, right? The girls that
That guy from the Weather
went
Channel,
missing in a camp due to the flooding?
Fox.
Oh, you won't believe it. They found them. They found them. Look, check this out. Especially that one. That one specifically. Look, those are the girls that are missing, right? That were missing. Look, that one looks familiar too. Give it a second. Look, check this out, right? It's crazy, bro. They found them. I promise. They show it on the news. Oh, man, I'm not playing. Look. See? There they are. Look at that. None of them are crying. They're not dirty. And look. This one's smiling. Look
They
at
don't,
that.
they
There's a
don't look
couple
like they've
on
been
there
through the ringer.
smiling. There's even one with a crash test dummy helmet on. I don't know what that is though. But look. Yep, they found him. Look, there's a one with a bicycle helmet. Watch. This one look familiar though? Check this out. Look at that.
Could be. Comments under that next says best show ever that we're watching concerning the flooding and all that nonsense. I mean, I'm not saying that there was no flood, but you know how they never let a good crisis go to waste. Let's see. Who knows? Could it be? He says we're watching a movie. Normies, wake the F up. Either this is proof that they found the missing children from Camp Mystic, or those missing children all have twins, or they're all actors, crisis actors, and we are watching a movie. Pick one. Then there's this, and I've talked about the invasion for all of Beijing Joe Biden's term, and I brought it up this year too. The invasion, they're not refugees, they're not little refugees coming through the border. It's mostly men of military age. It's an invasion, all right? We've been invaded, not just us, but the West. And the Khazarian Mafia is in a state of total panic because all the tricks to manipulate, like, say, for instance, the bird flu, that didn't stick. Where's the UFO invasion? That didn't stick, right? So all these old tricks to manipulate people with trauma-based mind control, they're not working anymore. So what does the Khazarian Mafia have to do, or want to do? They're planning to up the ante by unleashing some sort of poly-crisis, multiple crises, I guess, at once. And of course, because all this Epstein talk and all this stuff is resurfacing, this is how they avoid justice, according to multiple intelligence sources. So you could take that with a grain of salt or whatever. But you know how they like to have false flags and shit when they're about to get caught, right? Get in trouble. Then all of a sudden some kind of false flag or crisis emerges, right? This is according to Polish intelligence. So you could take that with a grain of salt too, or you could believe it 100%, whatever. But I said, and quite a few of others have said, that this invasion, when they get their marching orders, don't forget sleeper cells, don't forget all that, they'll make it pop off simultaneously. I came across information, I did a video on this 3 years ago, that they'll attack sheriff's departments, anywhere there was stadiums, large crowd gatherings, simultaneously. Governor's mansions. simultaneously. Infrastructure, that means electricity, water, roadways, bridges, dams, simultaneously. Something to think about. Or don't. According to Polish intelligence, again, you can take this with a grain of salt, but the global deep state elite has decided that Poland is also to suffer in the upcoming Event X. That is the upcoming attack of hundreds of thousands of invaders, a lot of which are from the Islamic State, on European targets. I just saw an article, a headline saying that a young gang, is terrorizing a small town in Germany. That's just for starters. So you're going to have these hundreds of thousands of invaders from the Islamic State unleash on European targets. And also us. They're saying it'll be likened to Valhalla from World War II. That's how bad it'll be. It's be a huge massacre. And these so-called immigrants, which are invaders, are actually ISIS soldiers. And they're already grouping in Europe. And they're waiting for their marching orders to attack. And this attack is known as Event X. They already got their smartphones. They're going to have smartphones. They're going to be equipped with cash. They're going to have the appropriate SIM card and software. And word has it that their operational headquarters is in Turkey, which has long wanted to lead the Muslim world. And you know these Muslims want to take the FUG over. They're already doing it here in America, along with the Chinese buying up land. We've been invaded. I mean, you wouldn't know it because it's not like they're wearing their military uniforms and storming the border and coming up through the ocean and all that like we did in Normandy and France and all that. It's not dramatic like that, but it was pretty dramatic when in another way, it's that our borders were wide open and millions upon millions, mostly men of military age, poured through our borders. Thanks to Beijing Joe Biden and the fake border czar Kamala, the laughing hyena. So yeah, we've been invaded. It's just a matter of time. Now, this information, or revelation, if you will, comes after multiple whistleblowers derailed two major events that were planned to put Americans into a frenzy of anger around July 4th. Notice it didn't happen. I mean, yeah, the Texas flood happened, but that's not pissing anybody off. We were supposed to get attacked, a big attack. That was the plan. But according to this information, multiple whistleblowers derailed two major events planned to put Americans into anger mode around July 4th, Independence Day. The first was a massive explosion in the U.S. they planned to blame on Iran. False flag. We're talking about that. Iran got wind of it, so they say, and prevented the attack by informing Western white hats, if you believe white hats exist. The next attack was planned to blow up the USS Nimitz aircraft carrier and again blame it on Iran. Another false flag. So there are two false flags planned around July 4th that were thwarted. That's how the story goes. Don't get up in a tizzy, bitch. I'm just relaying information. Because so many people saw through this plan and got ahead of the narrative, they had to move the goalposts, and those plans to carry out those two attacks of false flags around July 4th were thwarted. They just said, okay, we're not doing it because people are catching on, too many, and we're going to move the goalposts around and just kick that can down the road, so to speak. So now they're planning Event X. The idea is to make it so overwhelming that people will once again bow down to the Khazarian Mafia'S dictatorship. I mean, it involves mobilizing millions of military-aged men who've already infiltrated Western countries over the last 4 years. Event X. In other words, translation, they plan on... I can't do Muslim accent. I'm going to have to look at Muslim accent. Arabic, I'm in. Arabic.
The girl, I sing, you sing. The show is more like it's the sermeye. The funny thing is that the letter the and th exist in
How'd
the
you have
Arabic
an
language,
Arabic
okay, in the
accent?
form of ذل and th. But in many regions of the Middle East, they've been dropped and replaced simply by z and th.
The,
In the same way, for example, in Latin America,
the
th and
bomb.
the in Spanish were also dropped. So like manzana, for example, or corazon became
Corazon.
manzana, corazon. I
Manzana,
guess they just don't think
corazon.
that sound. Next, in the Arabic language, there is no letter P. So the P is replaced by B. Give me the bacon powder. The police is here.
The police is here. Oh, is it time? It's the time to get rid of the Western devils. They're gonna get the call. That's what this is. They had cell phones coming through the border. They were all fully clothed, nice clothes, civilian, of course. You know, they don't want to have their respective countries' uniforms on. I mean, this is a UN invasion that happened the last 4 years. So you don't want to give it away. They're little refugees, right, Tom Petty? That were coming through the border by the millions over the last 4 years on the base Joe Biden's watch, right? Open Border Society, George Soros. We've been invaded. So Event X is them planning to unleash the millions of military-age males that invaded our country. And you could also expect multiple attempts to provoke war, natural, put in quotes, natural disasters, bank closures, disease outbreaks, yada, yada, yada. Just boom, 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 all the way. Hit us all at once and all that shit. We should be used to this by now because they've been doing everything. But the military-age war part, attack on us, we're not used to that because we haven't been through that yet. I mean, Civil War, we've had Civil War, but this generation hasn't been through squat compared to that. Not on our land, fighting on our land. So I just want to bring it up. Event X, poly crisis, and you see all these floodings that's already happening now, and scientists are saying that volcanoes, well, get ready because they could explode at any moment, you know, erupt, and it'd be worse than anything we've ever seen. Hundreds of them all around the world, worse than nuclear weapons. I mean, okay, all right. How about let's get it over with? You know, just stop talking about this shit. You can just shit or get off the pot. I mean, no, you can move your goalposts around. Once this information gets out, if it does enough, they're gonna cancel this shit too. They're gonna cancel this or kick that can down the road because that's what they do. They see how we react, and then they're like, maybe we shouldn't carry that out. Too many people know about this or our plans. They're paying attention. We just give them new shiny object to kick that can down the road. We'll see what happens, but just know that the desperate cabal, the Khazarian Mafia, I know I should get a big thumbs up from BitChute on this one, talking about Khazarian Mafia, they are planning Event X, which is hitting us primarily, but not limited to, the invaders that come into our country. Yeah. Event X. You down with that? I got for you. Just be prepared, live your life as best you can. And this goes for this guy. Get your soul right with Jesus, like really. And I need to straighten up too. But there you go. We're living in the last days. It's unbelievable.